Oh, hold on. Much better. All right. So, today's video, apologize for my absence. I have been under the weather. In fact, I'm still under the weather right now. But I gotta make this video, man, because I already see where this is going, okay? This video is titled, Did Andrew Yang Just Concede to Bernie Sanders? Where's the head? Did Andrew Yang just clickbait, fam? Of course it's clickbait. It's a question. I didn't tell you that he did. Did Andrew Yang concede to Bernie Sanders? And the reason why I'm saying it that way is because people are really interpreting Andrew Yang's latest statement as that. Him essentially saying that his supporters should feel free to go ahead and explore the Bernie Sanders camp. And I'm like, wait a minute, are y'all really making videos? Like, people are making videos about this right now. So let me tell you what the quote is, okay? I'm sorry, my internet went down at the exact moment I got this whole thing set up. Like, I just called the cable company that's going to be down for some hours, so you get this version today. But Yang was on a Bloomberg roundtable interview, and let me pull it right here. Okay, so speaking at a Bloomberg News reporter roundtable in Des Moines, Iowa, Yang said there is an overlap between his supporters and those of the progressive Vermont senator. I think that Bernie and I do have a lot of overlap in support, so it wouldn't be surprising to me if many of our supporters head in that direction, he said. Okay. Big time reach. First of all, for those of you that don't know, he is specifically talking about in Iowa where if you don't have 15%, then you don't get any delegates. So your people can move to a different camp so that they can become a viable selection of people. So he's simply talking about in those specific areas in Iowa, not in the rest of the country where he's expected to do just fine. I could not find this exact quote, but in the edited version of this, I'll put it in there. But The Hill recently did a segment on this, or essentially on Andrew Yang's the loyalty of his following, and they said that the second choice for Andrew Yang supporters is no one. Okay, so calm down. He didn't say that I'm done. I'm wrapping it up. It's not looking good for me. No. He said in that specific state where that is the process, he would not be surprised if people went to a different camp. Now, I think the interesting thing is that these are the same people who are excited about this. They're the same people who are mad that Andrew Yang co-opted Medicare for all. Why wouldn't you think that he's just doing the same thing again? Like, I heard the comment, oh, I thought that his delegates would probably go to Joe Biden. They very well might go to Joe Biden. They very well might go to Bernie Sanders. He don't know. He's just keeping his options open so that way later on when he's asking your people to come to his side, you won't feel so bad about it. I'm very perplexed by the amount of people who are excited by this very vague statement in a very specific case when you really should be focusing on the fact that Andrew Yang has been trending up. He has the highest net favorability rating among all candidates, and that's saying a lot. Not to mention, that's net favorability across Republicans and Democrats. So, cool your jets. Andrew Yang ain't going nowhere. Regardless of how he does in some precincts in Iowa, he's still expected to perform fairly well in others. And we know that Andrew Yang is bringing in those voters who just aren't being counted right now because they're first-time voters. They're people who just have been disengaged. They're not really interested in the political process. They're not necessarily a crossover between Bernie and Yang. Perhaps they were Bernie supporters in the past, but they've come over to Yang. But as far as policy, I mean, Yang just offers better policies than Bernie. They don't offer the same types of policies at all. You know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about? I missed this, but saw some headlines. Perfect timing. Yeah. Dog, please go. Go. Sorry, I'm gonna roll over the dog's tail, and he barks, and then you guys think I'm abusing my dog. Yesterday it was Tesla steering wheel. Today it's concession to Bernie. Yeah, they will take whatever they can get because, quite honestly, they're afraid. They're afraid that somebody is actually going to get that group of people who don't vote, like 30-something% of Americans, like 37% of Americans that don't vote. If somebody were to rile them up, well, then you don't need to worry about all of these identity politics that everyone else is playing. You can just do whatever you want to do if you can get that, because that essentially does become the majority. 50% of former burners are yanggang. Sure. But that don't mean they're going to vote for, that don't mean they're voting for Bernie. I've said this from the beginning. I can't vote for Bernie. Bernie and Yang, they're not the same. It's not like, I could see if we were talking about, it's a bogus article. Well, it's a bogus article, but people are gravitating towards it because they think that this is what they need to confirm that Yang he's on his way out. And clearly, this is the opportunity. Look how many factions are rallying to keep Bernie Sanders from becoming president. Do you really think a vote for Bernie Sanders is a winning vote? I mean, like, I'm just for real. Like, do you really think they'll let him win? I mean, you saw what they did in 2015, 2016. They literally cheated. Do you think they will have a problem cheating again? Like, come on, man. Yeah, he never said the Times reported. Yeah. And you know, you're right, because when I looked at the headlines, I did feel this scared feeling. Yeah, that's what they're wanting to create. And again, that's why I like to stick to data, okay? And the data says Joe Biden's still winning, okay? He ain't winning by a lot, but according to the data, he's still winning, all right? Don't get caught up into this vacuum of, oh, Bernie's the left wing and they're taking over the party. They're not taking over nothing. They're not taking over nothing. They're just doing their own thing. They a bunch of rabble-rousers. I'm 2/3 Republican. Exactly. I can't in good conscience vote for Bernie. I'm sorry. Not to mention, what was the spineless thing Bernie did last week? He did something else that I was going to make a video on this, but you guys keep telling me not to be negative about Bernie. I'm not being negative. Just saying facts. Oh, what is this? My wife is texting me. There is a video that recently went out. I guess maybe went out yesterday or the day before of who is it? It's Fat Boy and somebody else. They're going around Harlem giving people $1,000. And I want to redo that video. I don't know if you guys have seen this video. It's a great video, but it's like the Drake video for NDOJ. Yeah, it's like the Drake video for God's Plan. Now, just imagine if they went around and gave people Medicare for all. You think people are going to be excited about that? I'm not saying they don't want it, but we're talking about the freedom dividend, which is like $750,000-ish between 18 and 64 versus Medicare for all, which, you know, hopefully you never have to use. You know what I mean? You eat right. You take Andrew Yang's freedom dividend. You stop buying that stuff in the grocery store. You go buy some quality food. Maybe you go support a local farm. You get off them GMOs, and you good. Berner's saying they're buying votes. That's his platform. Again, everything is money. All right. Bernie Sanders wants to give you college tuition. That's because it costs money. Bernie Sanders wants to give you, what else does he want to give you? Everything, childcare, I don't know, a Chia Pet, maybe some new Nikes. Like, everything that Bernie Sanders wants to give you costs money. So for you to complain that Andrew Yang is giving you cash and allowing you to do whatever you feel is best for your money, I don't think that's fair. Not to mention, people have non-traditional ways of wanting to spend their money. So I feel like it's incredibly limiting to say that, okay, your money has to go into this specific program. Yo, I don't trust the government.